So in this video, we're going to take a look at how to factorize a linear expression. So before we get started, let's just make sure it's clear what factorizing means. First of all, let's just look at something you already should know about, and that is expanding. So if I have some expression like this with brackets in it, if I want to expand it, it's the process of rewriting this in the following form: 3x plus 18. And we should know how to do that already. We times 3 by x and we times 3 by 6. That's how we're getting the 3x and the 18. Now, the idea of factorizing is to work backwards to put in the brackets. So factorizing is the process of putting brackets in, and expanding is the removal of the brackets. And both of those two expressions in red are equivalent, of course. Okay, so now that we understand what it is, let's take a look at another example. So we certainly know that there are going to be brackets involved in the question. So let's look at these two terms, the 4x and the 6, and think, well, what could be a common factor to both of these? So, of course, 2 is a number that is a factor of 4x and a factor of 6, and it's the largest one that there is, so we're going to write that at the front. Now we're going to think, well, okay, if we're going to be multiplying two expressions, or two terms, I should say, by 2 to get a 4x and to get a 6, well, what will they be? Well, 2 times 2x will make that 4x, and 2 times 3 is going to make the 6. So our factorized form is 2 bracket 2x plus 3. Now, in summary, what's happened here? We have looked at those two terms. We've thought, what is the highest common factor that goes into both of them? We then write that at the front. In this case, that was a 2. And then we divide them both by the 2 to give us the two numbers inside the bracket. Let's look at some more examples. So, factorize 18n plus 24. So if we look at this, we can see we've got an 18 and a 24. Well, what goes into 18n and 24? Well, the highest common factor is 6. So I know already that's how much I'm pulling out from each term. So if I started with 3n, I would have 6 times 3n makes the 18n. And 4 times 6 makes the 24. So this is 6 bracket 3n plus 4. Now, this one's slightly more complicated, but it's the same principle. Clearly, we can pull out a 2 because 4 and 6 both divide by 2. But as well as that, there is an algebraic component that can also be factorized out. Both of these two expressions have an x in common. So we can pull out, as well as the 2, the x. So what do I times 2x by to make 4x squared? Well, 2x. What do I times 2x by to make 6x? 3. So this one is 2x bracket 2x plus 3. Okay, let's have a look at another more complex example again. So here we've got a list of x's and y's all involved. So let's start with the numbers. Well, 3 and 12, they both divide by 3. In the first term, we've got an x, and we've got an x squared in the second one. Well, I can definitely pull out 1x from both of those. And in terms of the y's, well, I can definitely pull out 1y as well. So to find out what my highest common factor is, look at the components separately. All right, so now that I've done that, well, what's left over? Well, 3xy multiplied by y is going to give us 3xy squared. On the right-hand side, well, 3 times 4 makes 12. We've got 1x outside, so we're going to need another x in that bracket to make that x squared, and the y has already been removed, so we're finished. 3xy, open bracket, y plus 4x. Okay, hopefully that helped you to understand how to factorize an expression.